Your art is very boring because it lacks three things that great artists use in their masterpieces. And no matter how much you practice or how many courses you go through, if you don't apply any of these three elements to your paintings, your art might never seem interesting, only at best beautiful. In this video, I will reveal to you these three things that I notice in breathtaking work of many artists so that you and I can make our art less boring. There is one simple thing that we can do to make our art less boring. When we look at a painting from an old master, what we see is the final result of their work. But what we never see and will never be able to see is what makes this painting before us brilliant and breathtaking. And no, it does not have anything to do with skill level or mastery of color composition and all the things that make a great painting. Even though these things do matter, what we don't see is the effort that went into making this painting. When we see a master's work, we don't see how many sketches, how many compositions, how many ideas went through their minds, and hours that went into this painting, and like tubes of paint that they spent just to get to this final result. It is funny to believe that when we try to make a painting once for the very first time, we expect it to be a masterpiece. Not only that, but we're even unwilling to paint the same thing again and again because it's boring or it's gonna kill our creativity. But the reality is that old masters understood that effort is a way for them to create something special. But that's not the only way that old masters knew how to infuse some uniqueness to their work. But they didn't always do this consciously, and here is where you can take advantage of this. Try to think about the most famous painting you can ever think of. Even people that know nothing about art probably know the name of the painting La Mona Lisa. The only reason that they know about this painting has nothing to do with how well this painting was done or what it meant in art history or anything like that. The reason why people know about Mona Lisa is because of its story. And this is an example where, of course, Leonardo da Vinci did not know that this was gonna be a thing with its painting. But this painting is now one of the most valuable paintings in the world, as well as one of the most dramatic in terms of its story and how it came to be and what happened to it after it was sold and everything like that. So the next time that you find yourself in front of a canvas, try to think about the story that you want to tell with the scene that you're gonna be painting or whatever it is that you're trying to paint. Just have a story in mind, and that will connect a lot more with the viewer than you just trying to paint something that is very skillful but has nothing really for the viewer to connect to. The last thing that any masterpiece is made out of, or better yet, where it comes from, is somewhere that has nothing to do with effort, and it also has nothing to do with stories. But both effort and stories can come from this place. And if you were thinking that I was gonna say inspiration, then you're wrong. But you're not far off. Any great work represents more than just the culmination of hours and hours spending on practicing a skill. We're trying to capture something like a story. One great example of this is Pablo Picasso. Despite the fact that Picasso had the artistic ability to just paint whatever he wanted, what he really brought to this world was the idea of this style called Cubism. He basically simplified and distorted figures and objects into geometric planes. And with this idea, he came to revolutionize the style of the modern art that we know today. So it wasn't his mastery of each medium that he practiced or his ability to paint from life, but the idea that he had of how to portray something known in a very unique and different way that made him the artist that he is today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.